तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Mantra 6. Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha Sannyasa Yoga Dhyataya Shuddha Sattvaha Te Brahma Lokeshu Paranta Kale Paramritav Parimuchyanti Sarve. Yeah. So, this is talking about Videha Mukti. So, first mantras 4 and 5 talked about the phala, Jnana phala in the form of what? Jivan Mukti. What is Jivan Mukti? Free while living. Because after the gain of the knowledge, prarabdha continues. Body continues, mind continues, senses continue, but the person no longer has the same relationship to this body, mind, sense complex. A completely different relationship, meaning we saw that earlier. This body is coming along like a shadow. I am just going, this body is just being dragged around like a shadow. And the body has no option except to go and come. I am just here, and I am not in this body is in me, consciousness. This is a complete reversal of that. And then we also saw the Jnana Phala in the form of Sarvagatatvam, and we also saw that they are everything. One is everything, and and then we also saw earlier that all the desires are fulfilled because the only desire is for letting go of this notion of bondage. This notion, I am bound, to let go, that is the only desire. And so, when that desire is fulfilled, all the desires are gone, fulfilled. And so, this is while living, how does the Jivan Mukta live? And how the Jivan Mukta is not affected by whatever is going on either in his or her own body or in the bodies of other people or in the world, because there is only one Brahman, and that Brahman I am. And so how will the Jivan Mukta respond to difficulties in the world with compassion? If there is something possible to do, the Jivan Mukta may also initiate some effort to do this or inspire people to do this, but all from a place of compassion which is backed by dispassion. That's the best form of compassion. Compassion in Latin literally means suffering with. So, already one person is suffering, okay? You also start suffering with them. What kind of help can you give them? They are crying, you also go sit next to them and start crying. What is the use? That's what it's like in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is crying in the first chapter. If Lord Krishna also sat down next to him in the chariot and both started to cry, then what will it look like? Lord Krishna is very compassionate. But compassion includes how the second chapter starts. Kutastva kashmale midam vishame samuspasthitam anarya jushtam asvargyam akirtikaram arjuna klaibyam masmagamah partha na etatvai upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva uttishta parantapa. Even if you don't understand, you can see that it's a scolding. Yeah. The tone in which it is rendered. What are you doing here? Where did all this depression come from? This is not a part of you that I know. You're not behaving like yourself. Get up. And what are you doing here? And you are neither fighting like a man nor fighting like a woman. You are somewhere in between, and this is not a very good place to be. You have smallness, you have pettiness in the mind, you have pettiness in the heart. Get rid of that pettiness. And then you look like you have a weak heart. Strengthen the heart, get rid of the pettiness. This is compassion. And so the Jivan Mukta is compassionate, but from an objective standpoint, not buying into everybody's sorrow. And because if you buy into everybody's sorrow, then you buy into everybody's bondage. Is bondage real? No, bondage is not real. And so if bondage is not real, moksha is also not real, correct? Both are mithya. So for mithya shoka, you don't say, oh, this is what I have to do, and it is mithya, but the person is so much affected, oh poor thing. No, not like that. So the Jivan Mukta may help, but is not affected by one's own sorrows and is not affected by other people's sorrow either. And so this is the way the Jivan Mukta lives. But then there is a great curiosity. What happens after the Jivan Mukta dies away? What happens? Because with other people who are not Jivan Muktas, who are not Jnanis, what happens we know very well. What happens? The body is left for the relatives to dispose of. Either it is buried or it is burned, cremated. Then what happens? The Sukshma Sharira, along with the prana and the indriyas and the ragadveshas, memories, all these go separate from the body and then follow the path of karma. If they have done some good karmas, they will go to good lokas. Otherwise, they will go to not so good lokas. And then after that, what will happen? They have to come back and gain a new body. Why? Because the Sthula Sharira gone. No longer can they come back to that body. No entry. Okay, that is not an option. Then the Sukshma Sharira is there, and then what else is there? Karana Sharira is there. What is Karana Shariram? Yeah, what is the cause of Sukshma Sharira and Sthula Sharira? Ajnanam. Karana Sharira causes a lot of confusion. I don't know why. Because I suppose it's Ajnanam, that's why. So, Karana Sharira means it's all Ajnanam alone. And because the Karana Sharira is intact. Why is Ajnanam intact? They did not take the 3-month course. That's why it is intact. And then at the end of the life, when they pass away, they did not study Vedanta, they passed away, and that same Karana Sharira from the last life becomes the Karana for the new Shariram. This is what happens in ordinary people, we know. And away we go, round and round we go. Every lifetime is a deja vu. Oh, this looks very familiar. This is very familiar. And in fact, Pujya Swamiji also had this deja vu. He was studying and the Mundakopanishad, none other than the Mundakopanishad, and then he felt he already had studied it before. He felt that. He could anticipate what the next mantra would say. So, like this, they keeps on going round and round and round. But what happens when the Jivan Mukta departs from the body is given in the next 2 mantras. Let us see. So who are these? The Jivan Mukta is described beautifully. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha. Those who have ascertained very well Vedanta Vijnanam, the knowledge given by Vedanta, the vision of oneness given by Vedanta. They have not only studied very well but assimilated very well without any doubt, fear, and shoka, tapa, nothing is there, because all that has been gone by the complete, well ascertained knowledge. So, Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha. Then what are they? Sannyasa Yogat. Because of Sannyasa Yoga. Two meanings are given here for Sannyasa Yoga. One meaning is the straightforward meaning. Because of having taken sannyasa. They are not only Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha, they also are sannyasins. They are sannyasis. Why are they sannyasis? They are sannyasis because they don't see the point of being in samsara anymore. Because of this knowledge, or in order to get this knowledge, they have renounced. One meaning, straightforward meaning. Because of the association with sannyasa, sannyasa yogat. Or we can say, because of having lived a life of karma yoga. What's the difference between karma yoga and sannyasa? In sannyasa, you give up all karma. In karma yoga, you give up the results of action. You give up the addiction to the results of action. That's the only difference. So these could be sannyasis, or they could be paripakva karma yogis. Karma yogis with a lot of paripakvata, means ripened, matured karma yogis. Karma yogis with emotional maturity. Then they are also called yatayaha. Yatayaha, yati means yatna shilatvat, yatihi iti uchyate. Yatna shilaha, the one who is making effort. So everybody in the world is making effort. Somebody is sitting for an exam, they are also making an effort. Somebody else is doing something, they are also making an effort. But here, it's the effort to gain Brahman. It's the effort in the best and the right direction. That kind of an effort they are all the time making. So they are called yatayaha. Very nice word, yati. And then, who are they? Shuddha sattvaha. Shuddha sattvaha means whose mind is free of ragadveshas. Very simple. The mind is not under the captivity of raga and dvesha. The mind is not completely held by raga dvesha. Yatayaha shuddha sattvaha. And then what happens? Te brahma lokeshu parimuchyanti. Brahma lokeshu means in the Brahma, it is plural. Te sarve, what are they? Brahma lokeshu into Brahman. Why is it plural? Because we are talking of many sannyasis. Everything is in plural. So Brahma lokeshu is also plural. And there is a very compelling reason, because each person has to gain the jnanam for themselves. There is a funny myth saying that everything is one. Yes or no? Yes. So that means everybody's bondage is also what? One. So if one person gains the knowledge, then what should happen? Everybody should become free. See how quickly you know the answer to this. Yeah. So, because this shows what a pervasive myth this is. Yeah. Even if you are from some other country, you know this. Okay. So this means what? It is everybody thinks like this. And so by saying Brahma Lokeshu, the Upanishad disabuses us of this notion that if one gains the knowledge, everybody gains the knowledge. That means what? So if supposing one knows, okay, I don't have this knowledge, it's a sad statement. Why? That means nobody in the world is a jnani. Then what's the point? Then who are we studying from? Ajnanis. So if you study from Ajnani, will you get Jnanam? No. So this is one problem. You get caught into, you go into a corner, you are cornered. This is one corner. And the second corner is also this. Okay, see, they take Ajnana, the people who have spread this myth, take Ajnanam to be real. If Ajnana is real, it should be the same everywhere. If it is gone in one place, it should be gone in another place. But Ajnana is not real. That's how I started this class. That's how we started. Neither bondage is real, nor moksha is real. If bondage is not real, then what is the feeling? The feeling is I am bound, and that feeling I am bound is specifically held in each heart and in each head, and therefore it has to be as though resolved. Bondage is not real. And so liberation is also not real. So if they are liberated means what? They came to know that they are no longer, they are not bound. That's what liberation is. And so bondage is not real, so therefore you don't have to remove it. Neither does one person have to make an effort, or many people have to make an effort. Each person has to get rid of the ajnanam and the anyatha jnanam, where? In their own heads. They have to get rid of it. No other option. So therefore Brahma Lokeshu, very beautiful way of putting this, yeah. It's a plural affair. Everybody has to do this. That's why Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha. It's not that one person out of these yatis gained the knowledge and everyone got. Each person ascertained for themselves, and here they are. And then te parantakale. So antakale should have been enough. Antakale for everybody else. Antakale means maranakale. Adi Shankara says maranakale. Maranakale means at the time of death. But this is for ordinary ajnanis. What is parantakala? Parantakala is the antakala of those who are Parabrahman, who know that they are Parabrahman. Just like in our regular parlance also, what do we say? We say, so and so passed away, we say. But with a sannyasi, what do we say? Yeah, you say either Brahmalina, they are leaning on Brahman, or what else do you say? Mahasamadhi. Why not ordinary samadhi? Because they may come back. In ordinary samadhi, you come back. Mahasamadhi, from which you don't come back. And so, there is a special word for the sadhus, and then for the jnanis, there is a special word. And so, here it is called, the Shruti calls it Parantakala. Parasya Antakalaha. Parantakalaha. Those who are already para. Para means what? They have become one with Paravidya. They are Brahman. They know that they are Brahman. For such people, when they meet their end, Parantakale, what happens? Paramritaha. Paramritaha means those that are one with Brahman. Those that are non-separate from Brahman. Very beautifully, Adi Shankara talks about this later on, we'll see. So, they are non-separate from Brahman, Parantakale, Paramritaha, Parimuchyanti Sarve. Meaning, Parimuchyanti means they are freed. Oh, I thought they were freed before. Now they are doubly freed. They are freed of this body. This is called Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti, freedom while living. Videha Mukti, dropping of the body. Dropping of the body, dropping of even the burden of the body is called Videha Mukti. Oh, so they are freely flying through space? No. They are neither flying nor haunting anybody. What are they doing then? They are one with Brahman. And when they were alive, what were they? One with Brahman. So then they become an altar of surrender for their devotees or for anybody who is seeking the grace of Bhagavan. While living, they were worshipped as Bhagavan. Some people are even, some Mahatmas are called Bhagavan, like Ramana Maharshi is called Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. And so, some people, these people were invoked as Ishvara. Even while they were alive, they were worshipped as Ishvara. And then they become an altar of invoking Ishvara after they drop their body. They don't go anywhere. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to come back. Even out of, what is that called? Even out of some kind of a obligation to the world, out of compassion, they are coming back. No. In Buddhism, yes. They come back and the child will recognize in its previous life what all it used. It's amazing how they find that. And so those, what is that? Those lamas and are like our Shankaracharyas, I suppose. Sometimes the reigning Shankaracharya will have some kind of a dream. There is this boy in the village or something like that. Why not girl? I don't know, but boy. There is this boy in this village who should be my successor. They don't bring in past life and all. So they will go fetch this child and then look at the horoscope and then put him in the ashram, and after taking permission from the parents, and the boy will also have a very spiritual disposition. Somehow it works out. So in the Tibetan Lama Parampara also, this kind of a thing is there, this rebirth of the Jnani. We do not have rebirth of the Jnani. Because neither the Jnani thinks I am indispensable, so I need to be born again to enlighten everybody, nor do the people think the Jnani is indispensable, because there are many Jnanis. And if one is ready for a teacher, another teacher will come along. So, neither the teacher nor the student should plan on an afterlife, another life. What should we do in the next life? Okay, so we have to drop that. That is part of spiritual romanticism. Paramritaha parimuchyanti sarve Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha. Very beautiful, very beautiful. So, when the wise pass away, there is nothing to come back. There is absolutely nothing to bring them back. Why? There is no individuality. The personality has been burnt. The personality has been burnt. In personality means ragadveshas. Everybody is a walking, talking bunch of ragadveshas. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. And along with the karmas are burnt. And then what else is there? The personality, the raga dveshas are burnt. Why are the raga dveshas burnt? Because they have no use. I told you earlier. Today afternoon we saw how the raga dveshas become a vibhuti for other people, a glory for other people to enjoy. Around the Jnani, whoever is, they enjoy the Jnani's ragadveshas. The Jnani does not enjoy the ragadveshas. So what is there to come back? There is no individuality. There is no desire. There is nothing that has not been done which is to be done. There is nothing that was done wrongly that needs to be corrected. There is nothing to gain and nothing to get rid of. So nothing to gain, nothing to get rid of. All this shows what? There is no reason to come back. The Jnani does not come back. Need not come back. I don't know why we want the Jnani to come back. Really, need not come back. As a blessing presence, they stay. They stay even while alive, they were a blessing presence, and after the body drops, they continue to be a blessing presence, an altar upon which Ishvara can be invoked. And then I was going to read this little bit of Bhashya here, very nice. Where did it go? So, samsarinam ye maranakalaha te aparantaha. So for the samsarins, when they die, it is called aparanta kala, or just marana kala, anta kala. Aparanta means it is not para. They are not one with para. So tan apekshya mumukshunam samsara avasane deha parityaga kalaha paranta kalaha. Very beautiful. So by comparison, what is for the mumukshus, the jnanis, samsara avasane, when the samsara drops. When the samsara drops for who? The mumukshus. For the seekers of freedom, when the samsara drops for them in the wake of this knowledge, what do they become? Jnanis. So when they die, it is called paranta kala. Paranta kala. And then, and it is also called what? Sukshma Sharira Bhanga Kala. Adi Shankara supplies. So, Sukshma Sharira Bhanga Kala. So, and then Sukshma Sharira Bhanga Kala means what? The time of the destruction of the Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira means what? All the 17 things which comprise the Sukshma Sharira. 5 organs of action, 5 sense organs, 5 pranas. Mind and buddhi. Mind, somehow it's funny, something we are missing. Buddhyadi, mind and buddhi. So this is 17. This 17 aspected, this one, what is that? Sukshma Sharira is what travels. And here the Sukshma Sharira goes back to the subtle elements. The Sthula Sharira goes back to the gross elements. Sukshma Sharira goes back to the subtle elements. Where does the Karana Sharira of the Jnani go? It's already destroyed at the time of knowledge. It is not there. Okay? And so what is there to come back? Nothing is there to come back. That's why it is called Paranta Kala. And then he also has a very nice explanation for Pari Samantat Pradeepa Nirvanavat Ghatakashavat Cha Nirvrittim Upayanti Na Deshantaram Gantavyam Apekshate Paramritat Parimuchanti Sarve. So there is nothing to come back. There is nothing to come back. Why? Because they get totally freed from bondage. Because there is no doership. So similar to a light joining the fire, or the pot space joining space, there is no joining actually. There is absence of joining. It's not some kind of a coming together of the individual with Brahman. So that is the beautiful explanation here. And then one more, Paramritaha Param Amritam Amarana Dharmakam Brahmatma Bhutam Yesham Te Paramritaha Jivantaha Eva Brahma Bhutaha Paramritaha Santaha. So Paramritaha Paramcha Tat Amritam. It is Param and it is Amritam. And then what else? It is in the form of Brahmatma. And then this is how they are liberated. And then Brahmaloka is not a place to go. Brahma eva lokaha, Brahmalokaha. So that Brahman alone is the loka in which they are, in which they were while they are alive. So this process of death of the Jnani, the dropping of the body of the Jnani, is talked about here in a little more detail. Gatah kalah panchadasha pratishtha देवाश्च सर्वे प्रतिदेवतासु कर्माणि विज्ञानमयश्च आत्मा परे व्यये सर्व एकी भवन्ति। गताः कलाः पंचदशः प्रतिष्ठा. Pratishtha means to their causes. The person is called Shodasha Kala Purusha. 16 kalas are talked about. And then, so 15, there is a funny way of, enumerating the kalas. 5 of them are 5 elements. And then we have Indriya, Manaha and everything. But then there is some other things like mantra, shraddha, prayer, all these things are there. If you want, I'll give you a list. But these kalas, what happens, they are all there in all the beings. The kalas go and join their cause. What is their cause? Ishvara, Bhagavan. Kala, Gataha, Kalaha, Panchadashah, Pratishtha. They go to their established cause, which is Ishvara. They come from Ishvara and they go back to Ishvara. And then what happens? Then Devascha sarve pratidevatasu. Devaha here is sense organs. The sense organs go and join their particular adhisthana devatas, presiding deities. Where do the eyes go? Sun. Eyes go to the sun. Where does speech go? Fire. Where do the ears go? Digdevatas. And then where do the hands go? Where do the legs go? Hands go to Indra. Like this, all the hands means Balam. And then all this, there is a whole list of devatas and the presiding and the organs over which they preside in the Tattva Bodha. You can look it up for reference. And so all these are going, they are just going, and then the 5 subtle elements go back to their respective devatas, presiding deities. The devatas continue. This particular individual is no more an individual, no more separate, even apparently separate. That separation is no longer there. The devatas continue to function for other bodies and minds, but for this person, no more devatas, because all the sense organs and everything, all they have been returned to the devatas. They have resolved in that particular, their own causes, they have resolved. Then Karmani, all their karmas. Karmani, plural. Karma, Karmani, Karmani, plural. So plural means what in Sanskrit? More than one? More than two. Very good. More than two. That means at least 3 should be there. So 3 karmas. What are they? Sanchita, Agami, Prarabdha. Prarabdha go, when the body drops, Prarabdha Kshaya has taken place, no more Prarabdha. And then Sanchita and Agami, when do they get destroyed? At the time of the gain of the knowledge. Sanchita goes away, poof. And then Agami also goes away. How does the Agami go? Agami goes by the punya of the Jnani, going to the people who praise the Jnani, and the few papas which the Jnani may have done. People get hurt all the time. Even if the Jnani doesn't intend to hurt, somebody gets hurt. Somebody says, oh, this is not fair. Why did you do this? Whatever. So maybe small papa might be there, or stepping on a small insect without seeing. Such papa, where does that go? To those who criticize the Jnani, these kinds of papas will go. And then so Agami is gone. What else is left? Sanchita is gone. Why is Sanchita gone at the time of knowledge? Because at the time of knowledge, Jnana Kale, what happens? I am Karta notion is gone. If I am the holder of the handbag notion is gone, along with that handbag is also gone. Yeah, that's how it is, because they are connected. Cause and effect are connected. If the cause of karma, what is the cause of karma? Kartritva buddhi. Kartritva buddhi alone is the cause of karma. If the kartritva buddhi is gone, it's dropped in the wake of the knowledge, the karma is attached to kartritva buddhi, is attached to me owning up the karma. I am not owning up the karma, then what is there? Nothing is there. Like I said, it's like a dead person's bank account. Money is there, but it doesn't belong to the person anymore. So like that, see, all the karmas are gone, karmani, and then what else is gone? Vijnanamayascha atma. Vijnanamaya means what? Kartritva buddhi. The ego, the ahankara here, kartritva buddhi along with the karma perishes. No more is there kartritva buddhi, no more is there karma. Both of them bye-bye. And then what else is there? Pare avyaye. In this Parabrahman avyaye, in that which is not changing at all, sarve eki bhavanti. All of them become one. They don't become, they were already one. All of this, karma resolves, karta resolves, all of them go to where? Brahman alone, which is not subject to an end. Nothing more to talk about here. Let's go to the next one. Yatha nadyasyandamana samudre astangachanti nama rupe vihaya तथा विद्वान् नाम रूपाद् विमुक्तः परात् परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्. Yeah, beautiful analogy and an oft quoted analogy. Yatha nadyah syandamanaha. Syandamanaha nadyah. Like the flowing rivers. What do? Samudram pratigachanti. They go towards the ocean. Sometimes what happens? They join together. Two rivers join together. Like Ganga and Yamuna join together and then go to the ocean. And then when they are entering the ocean, how do they enter? Nama rupe vihaya. Nama cha rupam cha nama rupe. Dual. Nama rupe vihaya, having given up the nama and the rupa. What is nama? Name. What is rupa? Form. Giving up their original name and form. The Ganga doesn't say, I am the holiest, I have to get more, I shouldn't go along with you, I should be separate, I should enter at a particular muhurta, shoo, go away from me. It doesn't say that. It will just collect all the things and then go. Nama rupe vihaya, giving up their, nama rupa means giving up their individuality. There is no individuality here. Ganga is no longer Ganga. Ganga has become what? Indian Ocean. Ganga is no longer Ganga. Yamuna is no longer Ganga. Yamuna. Nothing, no name, no form. Nama rupe vihaya. Syandamanaha nadyah samudre, flowing towards the ocean. What do? The astam gachanti. Astam gachanti means they disappear. So at the mouth of the delta, where if you go in the Bay of Bengal, you see the rivers entering, and after that can you call them river? Can you look for in the ocean and say, where is Ganga? You will not find. The Ganga has disappeared into the ocean. And this sounds very scary when we think of the Darshtanta. Oh my God, I will disappear into Brahman. I don't want this knowledge. I'm glad this verse came, because when this mantra came, I understood I will no longer be there, and then I will disappear into Brahman. I'm just what is that? I'm just recognizing my creativity. I am just having so many things to do. If I disappear, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Don't worry, okay? And you won't disappear. Disappear means what? What disappears, you have to see. What you consider you disappears. You don't disappear. You as Satchidanandam Brahma do not disappear. What disappears? Raga Dvesha? Yes or no? Yes. Kama Krodha? Yes. And then the form, like 5 feet so many inches tall? Yes. Man? Yes. Woman? Yes. Gender? Yes. All these things, yes. These are the things that disappear. And in fact, when the person was alive, those things had already disappeared. And so here, Nama Astam Gacchanti means they disappear. How? Giving up their individuality. Tatha, in the same way, Vidwan Nama Rupad Vimuktaha. At the time of death, the Vidwan, what is there? Freed of the name and the form. Name, so and so, Ananda. Form, and this, looked like this. Had a beard. All these things. This is the form. And the name, some Ananda, because Yati, Sannyasi. And then disappeared. Nama Rupad Vimuktaha Parat Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. Divyam is the key here, making it a Mahavakya. Divyam means what? Self-effulgent. And who is self-effulgent? This self-effulgent Vidwan is as though merging with the self-effulgent Brahman. Was the Vidwan not already Brahman when he or she knew I am Brahman? Yes. So this is just a Aupachariki. This particular Aupacharikaha mantra. This mantra is just for the sake of seeing this. That's all. It's not really one person merging into the other. It's not one galaxy merging into another galaxy. So, Nama Rupe Vihaya, giving up the individuality, what one thinks to be oneself, one has given up. And here for the Vidwan, that individuality is already given up. So, what is given up here? Strictly the name and the form. That is what is given up. Nama Rupe, Nama Rupad Vimuktaha, Parat Param Purusham Upaiti. Upaiti, gains. Here we shouldn't say gains. Gains as oneself we have to add. Upaiti doesn't mean gains the Purusha, that which is everything, that which fills up everything. Gains means sits next to the Purusha. No. Gains one's identity as the Purusha. Regains this identity which had been lost because of Ajnanam. Understands this identity truly, fully. And then gains the Purusha means gains oneself as the Purusha. And very beautiful here, until the Nama Rupas, I don't have a penchant for the Nama Rupas, the Purusha will be evasive. This new identity that is waiting for me to reclaim, I will not be able to reclaim. Why? Because I am very much attached to the old identity of having 10,000 ragas and 15,000 dveshas. This is me. That is what I think. And so, Nama Rupe Vihaya, giving up the Nama Rupad Vimuktaha, what happens? Parat Param. What kind of Purusha? Parat Param. If they had said Parapurusha, it would have been okay, but here Parat Param, crossing over Maya. Ajnanam. First para is Maya. Avyakta. That Shakti which makes one into many. I am no longer under that spell. That Shakti which gives gunas. What are gunas? Various moods, various temperaments. We are studying this in the 18th chapter. How everything is under the spell of gunas. So no longer gunas, no longer Maya. Parat Param Purusham Upaiti divyam, gains this Purusha that is beyond Maya. Beyond Maya means not under the spell of the gunas. Then the next three mantras give a conclusion. The conclusion is very, very interesting. It talks, the first mantra here, and maybe a little bit of the next one also, talks about what is the, who is the person to whom this Upanishad can be given. No, that is the next mantra. This one concludes, how does the Jnani live day to day? After all this talk about death, the last three mantras were all about death, how the Jnani dies and what happens after death. Here, how does the Jnani live day to day? Doesn't come under the meter. Sayo havai tat paramam brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati tarati shokam tarati papmanam guha grantibhyah vimuktah amrito bhavati. Ha and why means indeed, to emphasize this point. What is this point that is being emphasized? Saha, this person who indeed tat paramam brahma veda, the one who knows the limitless Brahman. What happens to them? Brahmaiva bhavati. They are one with Brahman. Don't translate this as they bhavati, become. No, they don't become Brahman. What are they? They are already Brahman. They understand that they are Brahman. Not only that, the Upanishad makes a tall claim. Na tasya kule abrahmavit bhavati. Tasya kule abrahmavit na bhavati. In their family, there will be no person who is not a Jnani. Very tall. How? Just because there is one Jnani, everybody becomes Jnani. How? Because that person only talks Vedanta all the time. So even the person who delivers milk, the milkman, milkmaid will also be what? Brahmajnanis. Because while going to take the milk also, Vedanta is talked about. Because the person is in Brahman, so to speak, all the time, not away from that, does not engage. Anya vacha pramunchatha, has given up all the other kinds of talk. Na bhavate ativadi. According to this Upanishad, the word ativadi means does not exceed anything other than Brahman. So therefore, if the person is a grihastha, everybody is a Brahmajnani in their kula. And we see this in the Bhrigu. Bhrigu goes to his father, and so Bhrigu goes to his father, whose name is Varuna. And the father turns into teacher, and he asks for this knowledge of Brahman. Then Uddalaka teaches his son Shvetaketu, and he says the same thing, practically same thing. What are you doing, boy? You are just, you are not like our family person. Maybe you got exchanged in the hospital at a young age. We don't know, but you are behaving very strangely. You have come from Gurukula, but you don't know this knowledge, knowing which everything is as good as known. Did you ask your teachers for this knowledge? And Shvetaketu in his arrogance says, I had a 4.0 GPA, and if anything anybody knew, then they would have told me. Maybe the teachers did not know. Then the father asks the question again, and then he becomes a little more humble and says, is there such a knowledge? And proceeds to ask the father a lot of questions and gains this knowledge. So this is already shown in the Upanishads, how in the family, if one is a Brahmajnani, if the father or the mother is a Brahmajnani, then everybody is a Brahmajnani in the family. Of course, this thing should be there. What is that? The preparation should be there, and there is no reason they won't become a Brahmajnani. And then this is what is said, even Ashtavakra's parents, they were Jnanis. And he was born almost a Jnani because sitting in the mother's womb, as soon as his baby ears were developed, he was listening to the Shastra from inside the womb. And then the story goes, there are two stories, I don't know which one is correct. Ashtavakra has 8 bends in the body. And so the story goes that he was, the mother used to nod off in the class. Poor thing, she was pregnant, carrying him, and maybe she was tired. She would nod off, and the baby would give a kick. Wake up! If you sleep, I can't listen to this. So, get up. And so, because of those kicks, developed various bends in the body. And then the other story is that the father was also in the Vedanta class, and when the teacher asked the question, neither the father nor the mother knew the correct answer, so the baby obliged by answering from the womb. All these stories are there. And the father said, cursed him, what? You are not even born and you are talking back. What kind of a child are you? And so something like that. There was, because of the curse, he was born with 8 limbs. 8 crooked limbs. And then even in the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, it is said that the person who does not finish the quest, has a desire to study, does not finish the quest in this life, what happens to them in the next life? They are yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashtah abhijayate athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam. Etat, Adi Shankara says in that portion of the Bhagavad Gita, Ati Durlabhataram, very rare to be born to Jnanis. So here, this is one interpretation of this. Another interpretation is that the Kula could be Gurukula. Anybody coming to Swami Dayananda ashram cannot say they do not know Brahman. You can say, I have knowledge, but I have some doubts. Okay, allowed. You can say, I have knowledge, but it's a little vague. But you cannot say, I don't know. You can say, I am in the process of understanding. But you cannot say, I don't know. All because of what? Pujya Swamiji. This is how it is in the Gurukula. It could be personal Kula, literal Kula, family, or it could be Tasya Gurukule Abrahmavit na bhavati, double negative. There will not be anybody who does not know Brahman. Very beautiful. And then what happens to this person? This is the phala of the Jnanam. Tarati Shokam. Drops all the sorrow after gaining this knowledge. Tarati Papmanam. And then drops all the papas also. No papa, no regrets, no fears, nothing. Guha grantibhyaha vimuktaha amrito bhavati. Freed of the knots in the heart. What are the knots in the heart? Ajnanam, knots, triple, at least 3 we should have. So, Ajnanam, Kama, Karma, 3 knots. Ajnana, Kama, Karma, Shrinkhala, this chain is called the knots in the heart. Having been released from Ajnanam and therefore Kama and Karma, the person is no longer subject to death. Body may go, but the person is no longer subject to death. So then, the praise of the knowledge is given. What is the praise of the knowledge? Saha shokam tarati, crosses sorrow. It is the cause of sorrow is not there anymore. So there is no need to drown in sorrow because the sorrow itself has been falsified. Why? I am bhokta. That notion is falsified. Then the sorrow is also falsified. There is no there is no papa. There is no victimhood. There is no no wrongdoing. Therefore, there is no papa. And so This way the person is free even while living. Then here it says that you should, who to teach this mantra to is given. Tad etad richa abhyuktam kriyavantah shrotriyaha brahmanishtaha swayam juhvate ekarshim shraddhayantah teshameva etam brahmavidyam vadeta shirovratam vidhivat yaistu chirnam. There is an injunction. There is an injunction in the Rig Veda. This is what Upanishad? Atharva Veda. Why is Rig Veda poking its nose here? Yeah, but because that's how they are. In the Vedas are all one really. So the Rig Veda is giving an advice who to give this knowledge to, who to teach this Upanishad to. Tad etad richa abhyuktam. This, what is going to be said, is told in the Rig Veda. And then what is told? This knowledge should be given to the following persons. Who are they? Kriyavantah. Kriyavantah means they are who nitya kriya, naimittika kriya, those who do their duties properly. Okay? Those who do their duties properly. Shrotriyaha, students of the Gurukula who have studied in the Gurukula. Brahmanishtaha, who are committed to study about Brahman. Swayam juhvate ekarshim. This is Atharva Veda lingo. In Atharva Veda, the Agnihotra has a name. It's called Ekarshi Kratu. Ritual is called Ekarshi. Agnihotra is called Ekarshi for the Atharva Veda people. Okay. So, Ekarshi, Swayam Juhvate, not by proxy. They don't tell their spouse, today I want to sleep in, you do the Ekarshi ritual. No. They do it themselves. They don't do it by proxy or by a priest. Shraddhayantaha means Shraddhavan, the one who has Shraddha. Tesham eva, for such people alone, Brahmavidyam vadeta. May you teach Brahmavidya, and an additional qualification is mentioned. Shirovratam vidhivat yaihi tu chirnam. Chirnam performed. Performed with great Shraddha. What? Shirovratam. Shirovratam is a must for the students of Atharva Veda. It entails, I think I told you this in a different context, it entails carrying a hot coals on the head and making 3 rounds of the ashram and then laying the coals at the feet of the Guru and asking to be taught. This shows 2 things. One is coal light, kindling, that coal is alive. It shows that this Brahmavidya is now alive for me. And it also shows, just like a person with a hot coals on the head is not going to stop at Rudra Cafe while going to the Ganga. Let me just go over here and grabs a sandwich. Nobody is going to do that. What will they do? They will go straight to, if the hair is on fire, they will go straight to douse that hair immediately. So that mumukshutvam and that urgent jijnasutvam is indicated by this Shirovrata. This Shirovrata, if you haven't done, then what? Do not teach this Upanishad, it says. And then further it will give another warning, same kind of warnings. Tadetat satyam rishirangiraha purovacha na etat achirnavratah adhite. Not only does the Atharva Veda say that, the Guru also warns. What does the Guru Angira say? Then Pura Uvacha. Angiras also said to Shaunaka long time ago, now I have given you this Upanishad, don't give it to anybody who has not done Shiro Vrata. Please don't give this to anybody who has not done Shiro Vrata. And then the Upanishad ends talking to the glorifying the Parampara. Namah Parama Rishibhyo. Namah Parama Rishibhyaha. Yeah, Parama Rishibhyaha, because of who saw the mantras, because of whom we have this knowledge, etc. So now I have a question for you. How many people here have done Shiro Vratam ritual? Nobody is raising their hands. How did you get this Upanishad? How did you study this Upanishad? How come? Well, there's still 2 more days to do the Shiro Vrata quickly. No. The idea is that what is symbolized by the Shiro Vrata is there in the heart. What is symbolized in the Shiro Vrata is an urgent jignasutvam, an urgent mumuksha, and a desire to cross samsara, and that desire is there, and the brightness of coals on the student's head shows that this is the knowledge of the self-effulgent I. So the students, we assume nowadays, is that they are prepared in other ways because of certain life experiences, because of how they have handled themselves, because of having gone through certain challenges. They have become mature emotionally, and therefore they are ready for this Upanishad. So with that the Upanishad concludes. What do we do at the conclusion? Yeah. Om Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambhabhuva. Vishvasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta. Sabrahmavidyam Sarvavidya Pratishtham. Atharvaya Jyeshtha Putraya Praha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.